At times, Vvardenfell can be a difficult place to cross. With its dangerous creatures, rugged terrain, and frequent ash storms, getting from one city to another can be a daunting task. Fortunately, the people of this land have developed several methods of transportation. There are guild guides for magical teleportation, gondolas to counter the waterways, and boats for longer sea journeys. But perhaps the most iconic mode of transport of all is the Silt Strider. These immense, towering arthropods serve as a primary means of transportation throughout Vvardenfell and the Telvanni Peninsula. Reaching heights of up to 60 feet, drivers and passengers alike have had to build platforms or use naturally high sections of the land to climb aboard these massive creatures. Despite their challenging size and haunting appearance, Silt Striders are pretty much harmless and are well known for their docile nature. Their long, stilt-like legs allow them to navigate the rugged terrain with surprising ease, while their tough exoskeleton provides protection from the ash-heavy winds, letting them thrive in environments where other creatures can't. However, one of the most memorable aspects of encountering a Silt Strider isn't their size, but their iconic howls. These calls, which seem to occur for no particular reason, may be used to ward off threats, signal something to the driver, or to attract a mate. On the topic of mating, Silt Striders possess special glands that produce a unique musk, and it's this musk that ultimately brings two of the creatures together. While Silt Striders pose no real threat to people, their mating rituals can be quite dangerous, especially for those standing a bit too close to the action, which has been described as a kind of awkward flailing. With their large size and numerous limbs, getting crushed under their weight or knocked aside by their thrashing legs is a real possibility. Naturally, Silt Striders go through different stages of life. They begin as larvae, before encasing themselves in tough cocoons to mature. The juvenile form, known as silt hoppers or calves, are much smaller and are sometimes used by the ashlanders of Vvardenfell as beasts of burden. When fully grown, they are used mostly for the transportation of people, although this does require some modification. Having no natural cavities, the creature's chitinous shell is cut away, and the connective tissue is removed, creating a space for both passengers and cargo. After which the drivers manipulate the creature's exposed organs through a series of hooks, allowing them to effortlessly and painlessly steer the strider from one location to the next. These unique biological modifications make Silt Striders invaluable to the people of Morrowind, particularly the Dunmer or Dark Elves. For the Dunmer, Silt Striders are more than just a mode of transport. They're a part of the cultural fabric of Morrowind. Songs, proverbs, shelters, and even toys are inspired by these majestic creatures. In Dunmer art and mythology, the Silt Strider often symbolizes resilience and endurance, qualities that resonate deeply with the Dunmer people who have faced countless hardships throughout their history. However, non-Dunmer often find them intimidating, sometimes falling for baseless rumors that Silt Striders pose a danger to travelers. For example, a popular myth is that Silt Striders eat people. Yet, if they knew what Silt Striders actually consumed, they might feel less threatened by their presence. Interestingly, there's still some mystery surrounding what exactly Silt Striders eat, but some speculate that since they're called Silt Striders, they filter feed on tiny organisms in the ash clouds. But they may also consume algae, small shellfish, or giant fungi. Regardless, whatever their diet consists of, it most likely doesn't include the flesh of man or mer. Still, that doesn't make their large stature any less imposing, especially for those who haven't seen these creatures before, or those who believe unfounded gossip. As peaceful as their existence is, Silt Striders have seen their unfair share of turmoil. When Dagoth, a powerful character I will discuss in a future video, awoke from his slumber, he unleashed the Ash Blight, and the island's ecosystem suffered greatly. Many native creatures, such as Cliff Striders, perished, while Silt Striders survived, likely due to their hardy nature and adaptability. But their survival was threatened once again during the Red Year, a catastrophic event that led to the ruin of Vvardenfell and parts of Morrowind. When Lord Vivec, one of the 3 immortal god kings of Morrowind, mysteriously disappeared, the meteor floating above Vivec's city started to fall. Despite noble efforts to prevent disaster, without Vivec holding it in place, the meteor eventually plummeted from the sky, crashing into the city with the full strength of its original descent, which is a story for another time. But this catastrophe triggered a chain reaction that caused Red Mountain, the volcano at the center of the island, to erupt, devastating Vvardenfell and covering much of Morrowind in ash. The air was difficult to breathe, the water was tainted, and the Silt Strider was pushed to the brink of extinction. Today, Silt Striders are a rare sight indeed. Yet on Solstheim, an island northwest of Vvardenfell, there is hope. Here we can find Dusty, the last known Silt Strider in existence. Her savior, Revis Savani, discovered her cocoon in a small cave after the eruption of Red Mountain and brought her to safety. He raised her into adulthood, and though she no longer appears to be in traveling condition, there may be more to her story than meets the eye. For some time, Revis has remained by Dusty's side, believing she is living out her final days. However, there is a theory that could change the fate of her species forever. Some speculate that Dusty isn't dying, as Revis believes, but is instead preparing for something far more extraordinary. She is preparing to give birth. Silt Strider parturition, the action of giving birth, isn't fully understood, and recent theories suggest they might be capable of parthenogenesis, a natural form of asexual reproduction. After the devastation of the Red Year, it's possible that Dusty, like certain other animals in nature, has been waiting for the environment to stabilize before bringing new life into the world. If this theory holds true, then her story is not just a tale of survival against the odds, but potentially the beginning of a new chapter.